Hi, welcome to episode 16 of Relax, I Dare You. My name is Pamela McDowell. Thanks for joining me. Today's topic is engaging with the earth. So, everything you've decided that might be or concluded that might be, can you just kind of let that go for now? And let's discover something with fresh eyes. I've been traveling over the last 4 weeks around other parts of Queensland, which is a very large state in Australia, geographically, not a lot of people, but very spread out. So if I were to drive to where I was and I took a plane, it would be around 20 hours or more. And to give you an idea of the scale, and that's not even all the way north to all the way south. There is a huge amount of variety of geography within that area. And then that's just one part of the earth. How many different parts of the earth are there? And how many different parts of the earth have you seen in your lifetime? And even the ones you haven't been to, do you get a sense of how they are? So you have the earth itself, and then you have the areas along the surface of the earth where things may be a little bit different. So, for example, in Brisbane, there are a lot more people than where I live here in Cairns. And so the sense of space, the sense of nature is different, especially when you're in close to the city and there aren't a lot of trees, there's not a lot of plants. There is a river that goes through, but there's a lot of buildings, a lot of people, and a lot of construction going on at the moment as well. So that had a very different vibe to the Sunshine Coast, which was my next stay and where I stayed, thankfully, for most of the time away. And there's a lot more nature and a lot less people. And not that there's anything wrong with people. However, people have points of view, people have judgments, and nature doesn't. Nature, however, sometimes does carry the points of view and the judgment and the energies of the people that have impacted on it. So that's just something to be aware of when you're engaging with the land, that you might be aware of that. Doesn't make the land wrong, but it also might influence what you perceive when you're engaging with the land. For example, going into the city, there are lots of people with points of view every day about going to work, making money, getting places on time, the heat, the cold, whatever it is, that probably have very little to do with the land and things of the earth, which include buildings that are all around. It's often just the time-based and, schedule-based stuff in the head. So in a place like Brisbane, the land around might be really loud with that. Whereas if you extend your energy outward into the nature, because you don't have to go too far from Brisbane to actually get into nature, there's more space. And if you don't follow or get a sense of what I'm talking about as I'm saying it, don't worry about it. And if you do, however slight, just know that you're aware of something and invite that to contribute to you more and more and more. So on a more extreme version, are there places in nature that you like to go where it's just really relaxing for your body, energizing for your body, or you're just able to be in a very different way? I recall one time going to somewhere about 3 hours east of here, and it's, a drive and a long drive. And I was with my partner at the time, and When we were there, it was a lot of spaciousness, a lot of ease in both our worlds. And as we returned and got closer and closer to town, especially when we got into the outskirts of Cannes and, into the council area, I could perceive the world seeming to get smaller. And it was one of those places where things were quite noticeable because of the big difference. So I know I'm kind of meandering around here, but inviting you to tune into these places where you've had that experience and what you know about it. And then how can you be with it? So when you are encountering that space that has a lot more people and a lot more conclusions and a lot more problems, nature doesn't really have any problems, then you can actually start to realize, hey, this is all around me. This isn't me. So even as I'm talking about it, you were able to get a sense of a different space when I mentioned Ulara, and which is 3 hours, the place 3 hours, or Andara, not Ulara, Andara, and that's 3 hours from here. And perhaps you've been able to get that sense of space when I ask you to tune into those places that contribute to you. So I would invite you now, as you're navigating through your days, notice how the energy of the space changes without fighting any of it. So if it gets kind of dense and what if you could just relax with it and be aware of it? And then expand your energy even further out into those places where there is more serenity, more nature, more ease, and allow all that to contribute. And while we're with this, what if you could actually have a look at the place you're living? So whether it's a house, an apartment, whether it's yours or, somewhere you're staying for now, get a sense of the energy of it and the land and the structures there. And all of the points of view that you're aware of, can you just return those to the senders with consciousness attached? It allows things to change. It doesn't hurt anybody, but it just allows things to change. And then just be with the space, be with the land. Oh, warts and all, brilliance and all, without making any of it right, without making any of it wrong, and just allowing yourself to relax. So what relaxation can you be right now with your body and with the land and with the space? And be willing to get this totally wrong, because there is no right way to do it. It's all kind of a play. So can you imagine actually reaching down into the earth energetically and allowing the energies of the earth to contribute to you, the deeper down energies? And then allowing the energies of the sky and the stars and the universe beyond to contribute to you. And then allowing the energies of the worms, the insects, the air, the butterflies, the plants, whatever it is in and around your area to contribute to you as well. And you to be a contribution also. And even like the wood, the timber, the blocks, the brick, whatever the structures are made of where you are, what if you can also be a contribution to them and receive from them without making them right, without making them wrong? They are molecules of the universe that have come together to be something in this world. So it might be a chair, it might be a table, it might be a window, it might be a plant. So what engagement with the molecules can you be as well? Every molecule has its own consciousness, and every entity, so it could be the chair, it could be the person, whatever it is, everything that you call an item has its own consciousness as well. And without making any of those significant, they all have a different vibration, they all have a different energy. And what if you can engage with that with a lot of ease, with a lot of play and curiosity and a lightness? And what if you can also be that with you? So your willingness to be at ease with the earth and the places around you. What if you could extend that courtesy and that kindness to you? Just a little bit. You don't have to be that kind to you. Just kidding. Kindness to you is awesome. And it looks a lot of different ways. But one of the greatest kindnesses we can be is to not judge ourselves, not to make ourselves wrong, not to make ourselves right, and to allow ourselves to change with ease. So would you grant that courtesy to you, to the spaces you live in, to the circumstances of your life? And notice anywhere where you're fighting. And what if you could actually open up some space around that and be in more question, more allowance? And what is it you truly would like? Okay, I know we diverted a little bit from engaging with the earth, but this is all about living here with the earth. And what if you could include the earth and your body in everything you're being and doing and choosing? All right. Thanks so much for joining me. If you have any questions about this one, please feel free to put it in the comments below, and I'd love to see how you go with this. I'll see you next week. Bye for now.